Hey everyone, it's Lisa. I'm finally back in the library, but I'm still videotaping and not with our live classes. So, hopefully we can get back to that soon. But at least I've made my way back to recording here at the library. There is some construction noise, I think, here in Paris. We are kind of used to that, so I'll speak up and make sure that you can hear. Today we're going to be making this DIY painted bead keychain. Now it's more of a lanyard, it's more of something that you would add to your keychain, and I've made this one, I think, just a little bit too long. So I may end up shortening it just a bit. But these are adorable. The beads are all different kinds of shapes. I've included some extra shiny beads in there, ones that I already had at home. So let's look at the materials that we're going to need to make that. And by the way, there is a kit available for this, so feel free to stop by the library and pick one up. So the first thing you're going to need are your beads, and they are going to come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, and you'll get enough to make your lanyard or your keychain. You're also going to need some leather cording, although you could use ribbon, you could use wire, you could use a lot of different sources to kind of keep it together, but I liked using the leather cording. We are going to paint these, so I took a little hint from Miss Jennifer, our art advisor here at the library, and I started putting my paint in these little containers so that I could make them a little bit more portable. So we need paint. This is acrylic paint. Obviously I'm going to need the paintbrush of my choosing. For this project, honestly, the small brushes work better. I'm going to need some toothpicks or some skewers. You can see I used those. And then I will need a pair of scissors, and I roughed mine up. I wanted to give them kind of a vintage look, so I used the sandpaper. And then these are not treated with Mod Podge, but you can. I kind of like the matte finish on this in comparison to the shiny beads, the shiny silver, so I did not Mod Podge this one. And I'm going to need a key ring of your choice. You will be getting one of these in your kit. And then I'm using Oasis to help support my beads until they dry. And that is it. So let's go ahead and get started. You'll notice, and you may actually get one of these in your kit, but this one has a very large center compared to these. So I'm specifically trying to find ones that have the narrow center. You might get one in your kit, but you can still use them. We're gonna do, I think we're just gonna do 6 beads. And I need to determine my brush. I think I'm going to use this one. And my colors. In this case, I think I'm going to go the lime green. These are meant to be very summery. And the pink. And I'm going to put my bead on the end of a toothpick, if I can pick it up. I still am going to use my skewer because that really is going through there. We don't want that to happen. My bead center was bigger than the toothpick. Now, there's another method of doing this, and I've not tried it, but the theory is that you can take your acrylic paint and add it to a Ziploc bag, and at that point you can add a little bit of water. I'm placing this in the Oasis. You can add a little bit of water and roll your beads around in it, and then all you have to do is empty those off onto a rack of some type, and that would allow the paint to drip off of it, and you don't have to hand paint, but I don't mind hand painting. Now you can see how this is done, very simple. I'm going to go ahead and pause our video, and I'm going to finish painting this green, lovely green, and pink. And I will be back in a moment. Okay, everyone, I have painted these, and they are ready to come off of the skewers. While I was working on this, I also took the hairdryer and dried them just a little bit to speed up my procedure. Now, my next step is to take sandpaper and rough them up just a bit along the edges. You do not have to do this process. By the way, that was one coat. I could have used more. I could have used a gloss. This is more of a matte finish. I could have attached little letters or written little letters on the square ones. There's so many things that you could do with these. I'm probably running what's left of my fingernail polish. You might actually want to leave these on the skewers and do this. That might be a little easier. Just a little area here and there. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. Or not at all. Okay, that's what we're working with. I think I'm going to choose the pink. And I'm going to pull off a piece that's probably 10 inches long. And I'm simply going to tie a double knot in the end. A single knot might work, but I don't want my beads to fly everywhere. I think that's how I want that organized. So this one. Remember, you can put spacers in here. You can look at your own actual bead collection, whether they're wooden beads or any other kind of bead, and see if they will fit on here as well. I'm taking my key ring I'm going to open it up. Excuse me, I'm going to slide my leather through that slot. And we're gonna tie a double knot. Now this would be really cute with a bow at the top. Just something in the pink or green, maybe a polka dot, a gingham bow would be cute. So think about what you have, or nothing at all. Rather than trim that, I'm gonna see if I can't feed it back through at least one bead. And now I can trim it. And there you go. Now again, add your own creativity to this, perhaps a bow at the very top or one at the bottom. Think about what beads you have at home that you could add to it. This is an example of one. It's silver. It does have that large opening, large enough for the leather to go through. I hope you've enjoyed this craft. Remember, there is a kit available for it. These are adorable. They do make great Mother's Day gifts, although this one will be available the day after Mother's Day. It's still not too late to pick one of those up. So I hope you've enjoyed this and keep crafting.